is not enough in actions in order to do it, right? And that's what today is about. So if you remember what the overall structure was, yesterday we spent pretty much all afternoon thinking about the problem in different ways. You looked at the dimensions, you looked at key issues, you looked at stakeholders, etc. Right? Today we changed that a little bit, and we say now we pull back from that. You'll get a little more time to keep on doing some system storming like we were doing yesterday, but you start developing strategies, because that's the raw material you have in order to piece it together in terms of the strategy. And then we make it actionable, because to create many options is great, but then you need to slowly turn it into what is the action plan, what are we going to do, and finally all the way down to what are we going to do on Monday, right? It needs to be, that's the thinking you want. You want to answer to a very high level goal, but you want to build it down to what are we going to do, because unless we act, not much is going to happen, right? So if you remember, what we did yesterday was characterize the challenge, we did stakeholder analysis, we did system storming, right? That's when we were really, really tired and we were wondering why you're being handed triangular posters, right? That was yesterday. Today, we go back to that, but we start looking at envisioning completely new options, and we are going to introduce to you to this term, which I'm sure you use, but we have it in a very specific way, which we call intervention pathways. Intervention pathways are essentially categories of intervention, and what it means is that you can't solve the problem with just one silver bullet. You need to come up with a choreographed set of actions, and you need a plan for that. And what we're going to do after having identified the pathways is quote-unquote projectize them, turn them into projects for ourselves. And then we're going to spend a little time doing a meta strategy, and what we're going to have you do is we're going to give you a template of 5 slides that you're going to have to create for tomorrow, okay? And we're going to lay out that, and we're going to give you flip charts, just blank paper, where you're going to say, slide number 1, we're going to present this, slide number 2, we're going to present this, so that you have a meta strategy about how you're going to deal with your challenge and how you're going to ensure that innovation is baked in, right? You're going to spend some time sharing, and I would really like to keep the time so that we have some time to reflect, because I know you have a lot of thoughts and a lot of questions. We'd like to reserve a little bit of time to have a rich conversation at the end, right? So that's the deal. Now, this is a word we've been using over and over and over again, right? RAN. So, what is the essence of resilience? What does resilience mean? Someone give me a definition.
Use the analogy of an elastic band,
Yeah.
but even if you stretch it will come back to the original. Yeah.
Exactly. So the way to think about resilience is either an elastic band or a spring, right? And what it means is that it's the ability for a system to maintain its function after being subjected to perturbations, turbulence, and disturbance, right? So the system has gained a certain function and stability. If it undergoes shock, how can it maintain its function? Now that's when it already is functioning as you want it. We have a double degree of issues. We are actually trying to fix the system even when it's being subjected to shock. And that's a very nuanced point, it's worth understanding. But it's also an opportunity. It's a real opportunity. Because the system you build to create new function, you have an opportunity of building the resilience in a way that the people who designed the previous system did not do, right? So the resilience as a principle we can build in, right? So some of the ways in which you would build resilience, some of the principles of resilience, right? First and foremost, diversity, multiple dependency and growth. If you depend on one, if that goes down, you don't have a backup, right? Diversity of means, dependencies and growth. You don't just rely on one. Second, modularity, repeatability, universality. What does that mean? Which means that if you have something which is modular, if that breaks, it's like a part that you can replace. So imagine if your car was one single part, one single thing with moving parts. The first thing that broke down, you have to sell the car, or you have to jump the car. The fact that you can have an alternator as it breaks, you can find another alternator to piece it back together, is the way we need to think about a system. When things break, how are you going to fix it, right?